Hello, this is Larry Daughtry for Risen Prime Reviews, doing three-part review for Halo 4. This is part 1, the campaign. Halo 4 takes place 4 years after the Halo event in Halo 3. Master Chief and Cortana are trying to find a way back home because what happened in the beginning of this game is Cortana wakes up Master Chief and she woke him up because they're heading to the Forerunner planet called RPR, which I don't know why they have never said this planet in the game, but oh well. You see right there is the Covenants with the Protheans, the new enemy, but their Protheans leader is the Didact, who is the main villain in this game. Master Chief and Cortana get sucked into the planet, of course, because that's what happens. Chief gets up and pretty much tries to find his way through the planet, trying to find a way back home for Cortana. Through the campaign, Cortana gets worse and worse because of arachnoid, which what happens is after 6 or 7 years in service, they start thinking themselves to death. And what happens there is they have multiple personality disorder, pretty much, and they think of their different personalities coming at once, trying to take over each other. So you go through the campaign, going through all this mumbo jumbo, facing an enemy called the Protheans, which are pretty interesting as an enemy. They're kind of tougher than the toughest elite in the game. So you fight those bastards with new weapons, foreign weapons, which are pretty interesting. There's a knight, which are one of the Prothean enemies. You also face the Covenant, which is interesting. If you go through the campaign, what happens is the Didact, you wake the Didact from the slumber or whatever, and he pretty much does a Jedi mind trick on the elites. Actually, they join him. And so what happens through the campaign is now you're pretty much fighting the elites and the Protheans. Which kind of sucks because you don't want two enemies that join together that kind of want to kill you. So this enemy I'm fighting right here is a crawler. Another one, they're like a dog enemy, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah, you're pretty much going through Requiem to I think over halfway through the campaign you're fighting a Requiem trying to stop the Didact from leaving once you find out. You're almost halfway, you beat the Infinity, which is this mission. You finally hear attack comm from the Infinity, or Cortana gets a comm from the Infinity, or stress speaking, sorry about that. So that happens, Chief and Cortana trying to get the signal, trying to find out where it was, and they do. But what the Didact did to wake him from his slumber is he manipulated the signal, so Chief wakes him up, and that's what happens. As I said for the second time in a row, kind of different. So that happens, you get on the Infinity, you board the ship. There's a person called Captain Del Rio. He's a dick. He doesn't know anything that happens. Kind of how much they've been through, which in my opinion, enemy. Oh god, he just exploded. So, you pretty much get a ship, and you have pretty much personal problems. Chief has personal problems with Del Rio. You go through all that mumbo jumbo, and you tell Del Rio, or the Infinity, that the Didact's heading towards Earth to destroy him. And so Del Rio, he ignores him and tells him to stay on the ship. But through the whole time, Cortana gets worse and worse, and yeah, it starts getting bad. Right now I'm tired, you guys. I've been up the whole night trying to figure out videos and stuff, so please give me some leeway here. I say too much or whatever, I'm sorry. So after all that, Cortana gets worse and worse. So she tries to assist Infinity trying to get off the planet, but he wants to leave. He wants to fight the Didact. So last he prepares some Pelican to use. And she tries to stop the Didact, but Cortana keeps getting worse and worse. It's getting really bad, but at the end, they're all fighting, but Cortana keeps messing up. She's not responding cheap as well. She does. So that's what happens, and they go to installation 07 where the thing called the Composer is, which through the campaign there's a lady called the Librarian who's trying to put humanity to the mantle. Think like the great, like trying to make the humanity the next greatest race. So she tells him if he can't defeat the Didact if he can't evolve his biological whatever process. So that she does it to him. Of course, Chief agrees. But as she's fighting the Covenant or the Didact in the Covenant, Didact's kind of finally gets a ship and they go to Station 07 as I said before. My bad. After that, you try to save the installation, but it doesn't help. Pretty much at the end of that mission, the Composer gets the key, they call it. Gets the key, and then Chief gets, after pretty much tests the Composer on this installation. Chief survives, of course, because he got evolved. He's a biological standard guy evolved. Where the hell did he go? So that's what happens. So Chief and Cortana get into a broadsword and head towards Earth. Pretty much attack the Didact ship. After you attack it, you go inside. You pretty much stop the Didact from getting this thing. It's pretty much the ending. I'm not telling you the actual ending because I don't want to ruin anything who hasn't played. So you stop Didact pretty much at the end of the game, and that's pretty much it. But I gotta say, for the campaign, it's pretty damn good for what 343 has done for the campaign. Since this is their first game they ever created, and I gotta say, it's pretty good they did it the way they did. I mean, it's a change that people were not expecting to have from Halo after Bungie left. They were really skeptical. I was sort of skeptical of them for a bit, but after I kept seeing the footage of it, the game, and all this stuff, I gotta say it's pretty. I got really liking it. Yeah, I gotta say the campaign's pretty damn good. It's their kind of as I said. All the stuff they did for the campaign is in all the little stuff they did, all the detail for the campaign in the world, they did pretty damn well on. I'm happy that 343 continued Halo the way they did for this one. Changed it a bit. So they did have some Call of Duty stuff into it, like the hit marker system. But there's little changes here and there. They didn't really change Halo that much. They still kept it the same way, but with little changes, which wasn't too impacting on the game. So, yeah, the review for Halo 4 for the campaign. And I gotta say, for the campaign, it's pretty damn good. So did other people in Risen Farm reviews. They said it was pretty good. So this is the end of the first part, and the next part is multiplayer.